Okay, how's it going, everybody? We're going to read V.I. Lenin. I'll read some Lenin, Peace or War, February 23rd, 1918. So this is, during the Civil War, when basically all of World War One, these imperialist powers in World War One saw that the Bolsheviks had taken power, and they said, "Uh-oh," and they all stopped fighting and went over and tried to overthrow the Bolsheviks, and the Bolsheviks were like, "Nope." But it was a hard war when you have every single person, every single European power, all these imperialist powers in World War One immediately turn their fighting towards your country and just to get you, some bad stuff happened. Just to intentionally starve people and create famines and stuff like that. But it's the cost of liberty, and people pay it for freedom. In the long term, it works out a lot better, right? For everybody. It creates a more sustainable future. And so, because, the imperialists are losing their grips, and that's what, made imperialism is on a decline like it is now, finally. Let's go ahead and get into this. The Germans' reply, as the reader sees, sets up peace terms still more onerous than those of Brest-Litovsk. Nevertheless, I am absolutely convinced that only complete intoxication by revolutionary phrase-making can impel some people to refuse to sign these terms. It was precisely on that account that, by articles in Pravda, signed Karpov, on the revolutionary phrase and the itch, I began a relentless struggle against revolutionary phrase-making, which I saw and see now as the greatest menace to our party, and consequently to the revolution as well. On many occasions in history, revolutionary parties, which were strictly carrying out revolutionary slogans, became infected with revolutionary phrase-making and perished as a result. Hitherto, I have been trying to persuade the party to fight against revolutionary phrase-making. Now I must do this publicly, for alas, my very worst suppositions have proved justified. On January 8, 1918, at a meeting of about 60 of the chief party workers of Petrograd, I read out the, quote, thesis on the question of the immediate conclusion of a separate and annexationist peace. 17 theses which will be published tomorrow. In these theses, paragraph 13, one declared war against revolutionary phrase-making, doing so in the mildest and most comradely fashion. I now profoundly condemn this mildness of mine. I said that the policy of refusing the proposed peace, quote, would perhaps answer the needs of someone who is striving for an eloquent, spectacular, and brilliant effect, but would completely fail to reckon with the objective relationship of class forces and material factors at the present period of the socialist revolution that has begun. End quote. In the thesis, I wrote that if we refuse to sign the proposed peace, very heavy defeats will compel Russia to conclude a still more unfavorable separate peace. End quote. Things have turned out still worse, for our army, which is retreating and demobilizing, is refusing to fight at all. Under such conditions, only unrestrained phrase-making is capable of pushing Russia into war at the present time. I personally, of course, would not remain for a second, either in the government or in the central committee of our party, and the policy of phrase-making were to gain the upper hand. The bitter truth has now revealed itself with such terrible clarity that it is impossible not to see it. The entire bourgeoisie in Russia is rejoicing and gloating over the arrival of the Germans. Only those who are blind or intoxicated by phrases can close their eyes to the fact that the policy of a revolutionary war without an army brings grits to the mill of our bourgeoisie. In Vinsk, Russian officers are already going about wearing their shoulder straps. In Rezista, the bourgeoisie exultantly welcomed the Germans. In Petrograd, on Nevsky Prospect, and in the bourgeois newspapers, Rek, Dielo, Naroda, Novy Lukh, etc., they are licking their lips with delight at the impending overthrow of Soviet power by the Germans. Let everyone know he who is against an immediate, even though extremely onerous peace, is endangering Soviet power. We are compelled to endure an onerous peace. It will not halt the revolution in Germany and in Europe. We shall set about preparing a revolutionary army, not by phrases and exclamations, after the manner of those who since January 7th have done nothing even to halt our fleeting troops, but by organizational work, by deeds, by the creation of a proper, powerful army of the people. Lenin. Okay. Yeah, so that's 1918, peace or war. So things looking kind of bad, you know. Things not looking too good. It's kind of funny, the bourgeoisie who was all, you know, with this war with Germany, when the Tsar was in power, now are like, oh, come on, Germany, come show these people what's boss. Come show the Russian people that you're the boss now. You know, they're talking all that, defending Russia when it was the Tsar in power, but now it's like, no, you know, kill all these Russians. They think that, you know, that they shouldn't keep working for us and fixing all our problems and us never fix their problems in return. And that has to keep going. So, anyway. Yeah, you know, follow me online. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Tumblr, Medium. All these are Marxists off. Follow me there. You have a great day. Tודה, дорогой.